everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I draw anime eyes. So first I'm going to go on a low opacity and then draw like the outline of the eye. And then I'm doing that and do it in a better shape. I always can't get the best shape, but that seems about fine. And then I'm going to take a new layer and then outline it in a much darker opacity. Well, first I'm going to go back to the first layer and then I'm going to add this adding, and on that I'm going to add like the eyelashes. And so I'm going to outline them. And while I'm doing that, I'm just gonna say I'm just doing a voiceover because I forgot to turn on my mic on this one, so yeah. Okay. If you want, you can just skip ahead after all this outlining. I take a long time to outline. Even though I could have done better on the shape, I'm just sticking to the same shape as my outline. And then I'm going to draw the eyeball part. And then I'm going to go to a lower side and add the eyelashes. Or it might be the same size. I don't know. Okay, so at first, these eyelashes look like thorns. And those last three look a lot like huge thorns. So I'm just undoing that and making them smaller. And continuing all the way to the end of the eyelash. And I always prefer to taking smaller brushes for smaller details, because if it's a big brush, then it would go out the line, and being out of the lines is very, 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 very bad in art. But it's okay if it's a little out of the line. But if it's a big brush, then it would definitely go out of the line a lot. Okay, I'm just gonna finish that up real quick. Honestly, I've made better designs of eyes than this. So, yep, this isn't the best one. But this is just going to be a quick view on how I do them. Not perfect, but it's something. And then I'm going to take a much bigger size and then fill in the gaps, like the other part of the eyelash, which I just call a gap. And as I said, I'm going to use a bigger brush for this to cover bigger areas. And then it would look a lot less like thorns, and it will look more like eyelashes. And now it's time to get to the fun stuff inside the eye. So this is a very critical step. You have to take another layer, because if you want to erase anything, you won't be erasing the eyelash. So now I'm just going to pick a color from my very messy color palette. I don't know how to organize it, so yeah. And I'm gonna choose blue. I usually like to do green, blue, or pink. I've never actually done a lot of blue, but let's try something different. Please ignore the background sound that's coming. Wait, did I say it? Wait. Okay, so I'm just filling that part in. So you have to go from the lightest shade to the darkest shade. And so first I did the lightest, now I'm going to a bit darker shade. And I'm just overlapping the other one because it's a bit too big. And I need to squeeze in all of them. I'm just gonna do 4 shades of blue, but you can do any shade. And you can also do any colors. You don't have to do blue, but I'm just sticking to blue. Try something new. And I left this annoying gap, which is irritating me a lot, but I already did that, so I can't fix it now. As I said, I'm just doing a voiceover because I forgot to turn on the mic. So, yeah. And woohoo, we're at the last shade. But after this shade, we're not done yet. We're getting into the juicy highlights now. The highlights are my favorite part. It makes the eye become like a real eye. So I need to, first, before the highlights, we're gonna blend them in. So first I'm gonna take blur, but then I realized that blur won't work well. So I'm going to smudge, and even if you're using blur or smudge, you have to go on the lightest opacity. Maybe even 0, but I'm just sticking to 16 for the opacity. If you didn't know, the one that says pixel is the size, and the one with percent is the opacity. And I made it too much big size for the smudge, so I'm just undoing that and then doing it again in a lower size. As you see, it's blending in really well, but it doesn't look good in front of you, so I'm just doing that again. And that's about good. Next layer, and I'm gonna just repeat that for the next layer as well. And after all this smudging, we're gonna do some touch-ups, and then we're finally gonna get into the highlights. So I'm just going to eraser, decreasing the sides because it's on a humongous size, and then just touching up that little thing that went out of the line. I could have touched up some of the black lines, but didn't think of that. And now I'm going to go to the brush, and I'm going to pick white for the color. And then I decided that brush was too big, so I went into a lower brush. And then this is the kind of highlights I like to make. This is the order I like to make it in, to make a long banana kind of oval, and then a skinny line on the bottom, and then another skinny line on the other side, and then a little dot under the second skinny line. And then we're on to our last step. If you didn't know, I was using felt tip pen soft, and now I'm going to use airbrush normal. The airbrush normal helps to get that glossy look. So yeah, and the felt tip pen, if you use the other kind of pen, I forgot what it's called, but it would come zigzaggy, so I would recommend using felt tip soft. And for the airbrush, you have to put it on the lowest opacity you can on the color white, and then you have to do more strokes on the sides and then less strokes in the middle, and then that will give a glossy finishing touch to your eye. And then I could definitely see where I did the strokes, and we do not want that, so I'm just gonna do it all over again until it looks about right. And yeah, that's how I draw anime eyes, even though it isn't so much as anime. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to Ori's Oreos. Bye!